welcome to our third installment of the Augsburg football weekly review / preview. We're again in a new setting, another nice backdrop. We're just very versatile here, I guess. You know, we got a lot to work with, and that's thanks to our wonderful producer Ryan Kershaw.
Thanks to the communications department of agriculture letting us use their facilities.
Mr. West Allen, what I really appreciate, you letting us come in here. Very, very nice digs. I kind of wish I would have made you in film or something now, but you know, I got a face for radio, so I guess I can't really do that. Brett, let's talk about the Augie football game. Defeating Hamline 42-38. One of the wildest games I've seen as far as that Augsburg played, or really anywhere. You know, you have a 25-point deficit, 35-10 with about 25 minutes left, and the odds they had to overcome. You know, converting 5 fourth downs. You know, the different things they had to do throughout the game, and the offense was just clicking on all cylinders. Talk about how this was even possible in the first place. So many things had to go right.
Yeah, I mean, you look at an experienced quarterback like Marcus Brum, who's been around the block. I think probably his 13th, 14th career start at the collegiate level, and it's kind of a gut check time when you see your team's down, you're a team leader, and you could really see him buckle down, threw for almost 450 yards and 3 scores, threw about 65 times. You really saw him take control of that offense, run a little no-huddle action there, and really helped propel the Augies victory.
35 of 65, 445 yards, 3 touchdowns. Talk about how he's been able to really, cut out those mistakes we talked about, and talk about how his targets, JP, Munir, Hakeem Warren McFarland, they've all been really huge, especially down around the goal line. In that second half, he spread the ball around. It wasn't only those 3, Tyler Swenson, other people got involved, maybe Tilton.
Yeah, no, you see Josh Rashinsky's definitely turned into a safety net there in 3rd and short. You saw the 4th and 4 play they ran for him from the out route to run to the sticks, the out route, get the first down to get the go-ahead touchdown. But, you look at Munir Hamline had 13 catches, almost 200 yards, a couple of scores. He's a senior leader who's been there. He's been a starter for 4 years, been an integral part of the Augie offense for 4 years. Really step up, kind of put the team on his shoulders there in the second half, and from the receiving standpoint, really carried the team to victory.
Let's talk about St. John's and look forward a little bit after that big win against Hamline. Again, we talked about chances that teams give themselves. Again, Augsburg gives themselves a big chance here. They're not getting any votes in the top 25 yet, but I mean, if you beat a team like St. John's, who's ranked 18th in the nation, you really start to open some eyes nationally. 4-0 team, 2-0 in the conference, and a competitive MIAC. So talk about how big of a chance this is, and you see a lot of Augsburg fall sports right now really rolling along, really doing things they haven't done. The soccer team just beat St. Thomas for the first time in 18 years. So do you think that this would be a stepping stone for Augsburg if they could pull off this upset into bigger things during the season?
Well, St. John's along with St. Thomas is always kind of like the big brother in the conference. They always kind of beating up on everyone. It seems like across the board in all sports for the most part. St. John's, if you can beat them in any sport, it's always a big win. Especially with football, with them being defending national champions a couple times in the last 10 years, it really makes that kind of a program-defining win and a career-defining win for Coach Frank Hagee. I don't think you can. I mean, you obviously want to win the game. I don't think you can go in a game necessarily expecting to win. You expect to play as well as you can, and when all things are said and done, and let the chips fall where they may. And when it's done, you hope that your team is victorious.
Do you think that the running game will need to step up more this week in the fact that you have the, not to say we're predictable, but you obviously 65 throwing in a game, 65 times throwing. It's Marcus Brum's team really much, and so do you think that this week the running game is going to have to be a bigger impact because obviously you don't want St. John's just to key in on the pass?
It's almost kind of been a joke around Augsburg that like Star Tribune wrote that article on Jordan Berg and Royce Wynn for a couple years ago titled Air Augsburg. And it's kind of been the thing everyone knows Augsburg is going to pass, so why try to surprise them with anything else? But to beat these good teams who watch film, who crunch all the numbers, who have the athletes on the defensive side of the ball to keep up with your Josh Rashinsky's, Munir Hamline, Hakeem Warren McFarland's, and so on and so forth, you're going to have some sort of running game to kind of keep the safeties honest, keep the safeties locked in on the backfield, or then you can beat them deep.
Looking defensively, I mean, St. John's obviously has the ability to put up points, and you saw again a very good performance in the second half this week. How big are Adamy, Dame Bates, and those seniors going to have to be? Because obviously St. John's has, in the history of this series, has just been dominant. They've been dominant for pretty much against every team that they've come up against. So how big is that defense going to be?
Well, you see St. John's put 40 points last week in a win against Concordia, and the defense is obviously going to be key. You can't allow 40 points against the St. John's teams. I just don't think their Augies will be able to score 40 points offensively. And if you don't want to play that game, they're going to probably want to play the game in the high 20s, low 30s. Expect the Johnny offense to roll for a few scores, but when they do score, don't let the morale get down like last week. Those seniors are definitely going to have to keep the younger defensive players fired up. Keep the crowd into it because Johnny's going roll off a couple touchdowns in a row, but the Augies have to be able to bounce back offensively and defensively, especially the special teams we saw last week, but fumbling the opening kickoff, kind of really kill the morale of the team. And I think that'll be the big thing this week. There's going to be a lot of fans there. St. John's will bring a huge crowd. It might be 50-50 in numbers for each team. But I think the key is keep that intensity up, have the morale up, and I think the Auggies can be victorious if they play their game.
They have that home field advantage, and this isn't the St. John's team that was unbeatable back in the day where they were just winning national title after national title. They lost earlier this season to UW Eau Claire. They are undefeated in the conference right now. But Augsburg has a lot of factors for them, so we'll have to see 1 p.m. Saturday at Edor Nelson Field, Augsburg and St. John. But thank you.